Hi everyone, it's great to see you. We're going to be finishing up the hydrangea tour today in the front yard, and there are two places in the front yard that I have hydrangeas, in the side front yard and then in the circle that's near the driveway. So let's head on over to the side first. I love this path with all the moss here. This is some moss that I ordered from Tennessee nurseries. You can tell it's stapled down. I have a whole bunch of little tiny hosta. And then we come to our first hydrangea here. So this is Bloomstruck. Now Bloomstruck, one of the telltale signs that it is Bloomstruck is that it has these sort of dark purplish colored stems. It doesn't have a very deep foliage color. In fact, this one reminds me a lot of Endless Summer, the original. And you're going to notice it's not in bloom. This is a real deep shade area. Because it's only my second year here, I'm going to keep an eye on it and see if it will bloom. But I don't know. Everybody needs a Bloomstruck in their yard though. They have gorgeous deep purple to blue blossoms. If it doesn't bloom here, it'll get a different location. Then we're going to pop up here. I'm staying on my little moss path. And we have our two big air conditioners in the back. So eventually we want to close those in a little bit, disguise them, hide them. And part of that is planting good things to hide things in. And we have this hydrangea here. This is LA Dreamin. Now LA Dreamin is a wonderful variety. However, it's known to take about 3 to 4 years before it gets through that awkward teenage stage of being kind of leggy and floppy. So I don't have any blossoms on that one right now, but I do have another one that's in bloom. I'll show you in a minute. I have two Weebit Giddies, one here and one here, and they both have one little flower. This is probably their third year in the ground. I got them very small. They had, I think, one blossom last year. I think the reason they're not blooming well is that honestly they're just young and getting settled. So I'm happy to see that they have the one blossom. I love Weebit Giddy. I am happy with how they're doing. They only get 1.5 feet tall by wide, so they're going to be really cute up here in the front. So they're staying. Come this way. Right over here on the other side of the path, I told you I have another LA Dreamin. Well, this is my second LA Dreamin. It gets more sun than the other one, and it is blooming. LA Dreamin is known for the fact that it will pretty much always put out blue, purple, and pink blossoms on the same bush. So a lot of times people like to rework their hydrangeas to be pink, to be blue, or they end up being a purple color. Well, if you can't make up your mind, get an LA Dreamin, because you just get all three no matter what your soil is. And I have seen that happen in the past. Usually different areas of the bush will have the different colors, but it's very pretty. It's a very traditional bush. In fact, I heard someone say, if you want something like Endless Summer, the original, but you don't want to worry about all the color changes, LA Dreamin is going to be very similar to that. Just remember, it's going to be very lanky and floppy for probably at least 4 years. Okay, we're going to head this way. Oh, I get so excited. This is my only smooth hydrangea. Isn't that pretty? Oh, and they're actually starting to yellow a little bit as they're getting older. They were a bright white to begin with. This is Seaside Serenade Bar Harbor. And we have had a ton of rain. They're flopping a bit, but not much. Overall, this is a very sturdy type of hydrangea. Now to the right and to the left of that, we have some noisy neighbors. We have a very tiny little panicle on that side, and the same way over here on the other side. This is Little Lime Punch, and they're putting out one little blossom, but I got these as quart size. They're gonna fill in over time. They're kind of cute as little tiny ones. And we'll keep walking up here. Way in the back, oh my goodness, I'm gonna climb in. There we go, behind this is Stilby. See that little guy? He's almost getting lost. He's a double down. I think I need to move him out because look, he just yeah, he's not getting enough. So he's going to move. I don't blame him for not blooming today. And then we have 3 of one of the smallest type of hydrangeas you can get. This little guy here, and let's see if I can find the other. Oh yes, here's the second. It has a blossom, one little leaf stalk and a blossom. And then way over here, we have our 3rd. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about these bushes. I'm gonna step back into the shade though, so I can do that. So those 3 hydrangea are the Hydrangea Pia. Sometimes you see it called pink elf or little elf, and it's an older type of hydrangea. It only blooms on old wood. I put them in 3 years ago. Maybe 1 or 2 blossoms have survived. Probably the one that's in bloom is in bloom because it's so tucked under that rhododendron, but then it's not getting enough sun to really grow. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them. My guess is the best thing for them would be dig them up, put them in grow bags that can be overwintered in the shed. There are a lot of new types of hydrangeas though, like Weebit Giddy, that stay that really small size and bloom on new and old wood. So Pia, if you have that hydrangea, protect it or live in a warm area. Other than that, I don't recommend it for a real profuse bloomer. Now we're gonna head on over to the circle part near the driveway. Love how this is looking with the color of the sun patience, which are just blooming nonstop. The coleus are coming in gorgeously. Oh, it's beautiful up here. The hydrangeas are not the star at the moment, but I think in the future we're going to see some good hydrangeas up here. This is a Cape Cod, a Seaside Serenade Cape Cod hydrangea. No blossoms on it this year. Possibly too much shade. I'm not sure. It looks really healthy though, so I'm leaving it here. I like it as this large foliar backdrop. Honestly, it's so shady here. I don't think that something else would do better here necessarily, so we're gonna just wait and see. Then I have a grow bag blooming over here. Take a look at this beauty. So this, let me see the tag, is Everlasting Revolution. Everlasting Revolution is known for being used by florists because it has those real upright stalks. The cool thing about Everlasting Revolution is that it only blooms on old wood, but it's gonna put out its blossoms and literally they last for 3 months. These blossoms are so amazing and they go through a cycle of color. So they start real white, they start getting pink, then they go to purple, then they go to blue, and just over time, and they stay looking like they've just bloomed. It is truly amazing. So this is one that is just unique in that way, and I love it. I'm gonna duck around to the planter over here. This is another of our beautiful lime foliage that we get with Golden Penny. So once again, deep shade back here. And when I bought, this is a new one I bought this year. It is in a planter, but I really like how it's doing. So you're gonna notice that there's some burn leaves here. This is from the nursery when I got it. Since being in this area, the new leaves are coming in gorgeously, and that's a good sign that it's a good place for it. I have to point out the Broalia below it. This purple flower, doing great. Deep shade, bunny rabbits galore, and it's looking good. That Broalia is amazing. We have about 2 more to take a look at. Right here, we have Weebit Giddy. This is the one that was so sunburnt in the side yard, and I moved it up here. So you can see it has struggled, but it's coming back. This is going to be such a better place for it. I am so excited about this Weebit Giddy. That is going to be beautiful. Right over to the left, we have a little tiny guy here, and oh, he's just sending up 1 blossom. I'm so happy. I got him as a quart this year. This is Weebit Innocent in the Weebit series, so he's going to stay very small, and he is a bit more of a pastel color. And 2 more to go. This little guy, Weebit Giddy, another one. Got him as a quart too, so he's just filling in. And then way over here in this planter, this is another unique planter, really shady. And this is Paris, Cityline Paris. And we had a watering problem, so some of the blossoms dried up. That was my fault. I did not realize it didn't get reached by the irrigation, but we're doing much better. And I just remembered one more that we forgot. I'm going to go back this way. I like to sort of nestle plants around these rocks. I think that works so well. And here is officially our last hydrangea. It's sending out 1 little stalk. So this is a Seaside Serenade Newport. Seaside Serenade Newport has deep purple blossoms. This was in such a shady area that it was not blooming at all. So I moved it up here really recently, and it looks like it's much happier. So that is a good thing. I think you have now seen all of the hydrangeas in my yard. I believe it is 54 varieties and 85 different plants now. Oh my goodness, you can tell that I just love hydrangeas. And I love being able to sit up here in the shade. I can see why hydrangeas really do need some shade. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.